Each of our patients has their own story, and each of our Trellis supportive care team members connects with patients in their own special way. This is a story about one of our beloved patients, Roberto Ramos.
Roberto was a young gentleman who was in his late 40s who was at Forsyth Hospital and was diagnosed with a terminal illness. His mother is in Guatemala and his family is in upstate New York. So while he's here at the hospice home receiving treatment, the staff are getting to know him very well. He actually was a gardener for someone local in the community, and he enjoyed gardening, being outside. And one day I noticed that he was a little bit more sad than usual, and he kept looking outside, and so I started thinking, I think it would be really awesome if he could have a garden in his room. And so the next day I came back to work and we started a garden in his room. Well, in that afternoon, one of the nurse practitioners came up to me and she said, you know, I went in to visit Mr. Roberto and he was sitting in his chair next to his garden and the sun was coming in on his face and he was just smiling and his feet were waving back and forth and he was just so happy, and she said he was really enjoying his garden.
Heidi told me one day about some gardening, some seeds that they had got him and started in his room. So we went in there and looked at the seeds bed and she told me about him. Afterwards I asked her, well, how long is Roberto going to be with us? And she told me that, you know, he was far along. And so I said, well, you know, we need to get this going a little faster because seeds germinating is weeks and weeks. And so we decided we were going to help him out. And so she suggested this garden area that you see here. And I said, well, great, we'll make it happen. So facilities jumped in. We brought in some Miracle Grow soil and went and got some little more mature plants. Roberto was tickled. He came out and began to plant. And the more he planted, you've seen that his vision was much greater than one bed. So we decided, okay, he needs more space. So then we added the rest of the garden and added another band and just kept blossoming from there. It was just great to watch him. He working in the soil. He would come out, it didn't matter how hot it was, didn't matter the weather condition. And he inspired everybody around him. And you could see that this was his legacy. He wanted to leave something that when everybody come around, they would remember him long after he was gone.
Providing personalized care often sprouts from an understanding of what brings meaning and joy to the patients and families we serve. In this case, it was one nurse listening to one patient and finding out that one passion. And then the team, the entire group that makes up our framework of support, they work together to make Roberto's final chapter the best it could be.